I am Joe Leo. In the last video, we set up a game of 1862 for 3 players. Now we will look at the parliamentary and stock rounds that follow. Let's play with some trains. For the first turn of the game, there will be 2 parliamentary rounds and a stock round. 1862 has an interesting twist to the stock round. First, a player may own 100% of a company. Players may sell the president's share to the bank. Players may not sell shares they bought this turn. They may sell previously owned shares of the same company. Selling of stock occurs at the stock market price. If a company does not own a train, the stock value is half, rounded down for the sale. To help understand why you may want to bid during the parliamentary round, let's look at the companies and the trains. To begin with, 1862 starts with a random selection of 16 of the total 20 companies in the game. Additionally, each company may only be started during a specific phase and are randomly assigned a train type permit. During the first phase of the game, these 6 companies are available. I have put tokens on the board to help me explain the differences. The 6 companies available are represented by their home station and a token indicating their train permit. We have 6 companies which can start. 3 of them have local permits, 2 of them freight permits, and a single express permit. The company's starting position is self-explanatory, but the permits require some consideration. The train permit indicates what type of train a company may run. This seems to be a good time to differentiate between the 3 types of trains. Local trains. The icon shows that it runs to both small and large stations, but omits the blue and red hex symbols, showing it may not run to off-board locations. Local trains score all stations, including small stations, which are worth £20 each. The number on a train indicates the number of large stations the train may visit. The train will also visit all intervening small stations. Before gaining revenue, the company receives a £10 subsidy into its treasury for each hex visited by its local trains. Express Train's icon shows that it runs to large stations and may also run to red off-board areas and ports, denoted by the red and blue hexes on the left and right. Express trains score all large stations and off-board areas on their routes. Express trains ignore small stations. Freight trains. The symbol number icon shows that it is a hex-based train and that it can visit red off-board areas and ports. Freight trains score the start and finish cities or areas, plus £20 per intervening hex, or plus £30 per intervening hex if the route begins or ends at a port. Now that we know what the permits and associated trains do, let's go back to the board. Each of the starting companies have different starting potential. For example, the ECR, being next to London, is good, but it cannot reach it with its local train. It may be good later in the game, after a merger, but that's for another video. The NGC has an express train and lots of large stations around it. It has potential. The N&B is centrally located, but it's saddled with a freight train who is looking for an off-board, preferably a port. WVR is near a port, but once again has a local train that cannot access it. However, there are quite a few small stations it can grab in a few builds. The L&D also has a local permit with some small stations available. The WNR has double ports to its north and the east, with the freight train, another promising start. Now we are ready for the auction. Player 1 has the priority and decides he wants to start the NCG, opens the bidding at £5. Player 2 passes and is out of this auction. Player 3 bids 10, player 1 bids 20. Player 3 passes. Player 1 wins the auction and pays his 20 quid. Player 1 sets the IPO price at 62 per share and buys a president's certificate for £186. At this time, he may also buy the 2 additional shares needed to float the company. He does, paying a total of 310 quid. This company floats. There are severe penalties for not floating a chartered company before the end of the next stock round. Chartered companies are full cap companies, so the NCG receives £620 starting capital. But you must buy 3 stations at 60 quid each, leaving it with £440. Place a trade permit and a money on the company. The first parliamentary round continues with the bidding on the L&D. Player 2 wins and starts the L&D with an IPO price of £58. Player 3 selects a WVR and wins the bid. He starts the WVR at 68 per share. At the end of the first parliamentary round, each player started a chartered company. We now continue with the second round. Player 1 and 3 both start another company. Player 2 does not. The NNB is floated at £62 per share by player 1. The ECR is floated by player 3 at £82 per share. The parliamentary rounds are over. Time for the first stock round. During a stock round, a player may sell 1 or more shares, purchase a single share, or start an unchartered company. Player 1 still has the priority. He purchases his 6th share of NGC. Player 2 starts the only company available, the WNR. He takes a president's share and selects the starting price for the company. It may start at any value in the yellow or brown area of the stock market, from 54 to £200 per share. Player 2 decides £95 per share and places the token at the proper location. He then pays the company £285, places a token on the IPO chart in the brown area rounded down to the nearest value, and buys 2 stations at £40 each. The IPO position is not used to buy shares, but only for refinancing if needed to purchase trains. Unchartered companies do not receive money from the bank. They are partially capitalized and receive money when players purchase the shares. Player 3 does not have enough money to buy anything and passes. Player 1 buys his 6th share of NMB. Player 2 purchases another WNR. Players 3 and 1 both pass. Player 2 purchases the 5th share and floats WNR. No players have enough money to do more. They all pass. Player 3 gets the priority token. That completes the stock round. I hear the conductor. That means it's time to go. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and a comment. Until next time, have fun trading.